Good morning, freshmen. I need you to have your notes out. We are going to add point slope form to your notes today. And also please make sure you have a piece of paper and pencil before we begin. Today we're going to practice writing equations in point slope form. So far this chapter we have studied slope-intercept form. You should remember that slope-intercept form of a line is y equals mx plus b, where m is my slope and b is your y-intercept. So those are the two places you should have numbers in that equation. In point slope form, you're going to want to write this down. Our equation is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. I would like you to underline the m. That should be a number. That's where the slope goes. And I would also like you to underline x1 and y1. That should be a number. That's where the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate of your point go. In point slope form, if I'm going to write an equation in point slope form, I want to have a point and a slope. Remember, in slope-intercept form, we wanted to have a slope and an intercept. So what you're starting with is a little bit different here. Okay? So we're going to write A, B, and C in point slope form. I'm going to start with letter A. On letter A, they gave me a point. Remember, that's my x and my y. And they gave me a slope. So I have everything I need to write an equation in point slope form. Here's what your equation should look like. I'm going to write y minus the y value. So y minus 4 equals, my slope is -2 times x minus the x value. My x is -1, so x minus a -1 becomes x plus 1. That's the equation in point slope form. Letter B in point slope form. I need a point and a slope. They gave me points, but I did not get a slope, so I need to first find the slope. Remember that to find the slope, you subtract the y values on top and the x values on bottom. So this equation would have a slope of -1 over -2, or 1/2. Once you have the slope, you may choose to use the first point or the second point. I'm going to substitute in the first point, so here's my x, here's my y. So my equation in point slope form will be y minus the y value equals m times x minus the x value. And there's my equation in point slope form. On your paper, I'm going to give you a minute. I would like you to write letter C by yourself in point slope form. Okay, check your work as I do this on the board. First, you should have found the slope. So the slope is y minus y over x minus x. So I have a slope of -3 over -2, which I'm just going to leave as a +3/2. Then I pick a point. I'm going to use the first point again. So my equation would be y minus a -2, so y plus 2 equals 3/2 times x minus 1. Check what you have and see if you have the same thing or where you went wrong. By the way, if you used the second point, you would have the equation y minus 1 equals 3/2 times x minus 3. Both equations are perfectly acceptable and correct. That's how you write an equation in point-slope form. Now we want to take that same information and write an equation in slope-intercept form. Today, to do that, we're going to have 3 steps. First, we find the slope, then we're going to use point-slope form, and then we are going to get y by itself. In slope-intercept form, y is by itself. Starting with letter A, I have a slope of 2 and a point of 1, 1. So they gave me the slope, so I'm going to start in point-slope form. Point-slope form, y minus the y value equals m times x minus the x value. Now my only job is to get y by itself. To get y by itself, first I'm going to distribute. So y minus 1 equals 2x minus 2. And then I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So y equals 2x minus 1. There's my slope-intercept form. Second one, find the slope. Did they give me the slope? Nope, so we have to find it. Slope is equal to y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So my slope here is negative 2 over 6, or negative 1/3. Step 2, put my equation in point-slope form. I'm going to use the first point, so y minus the y value equals slope times x minus the x value. Step 3, get y by itself. First distribute. And then add 1 to both sides. And I end up with y equals negative 1/3 x plus 1 1/3, or 4/3 if you want to write it like that. Okay? Last one on this page says to write an equation in point-slope form, or excuse me, slope-intercept form, but this time they gave you the x-intercept and the y-intercept. You should know how to turn those into points. The x-intercept means that it crosses at negative 2, 0. So on an x-intercept, your y is equal to 0. A y-intercept means it crosses at positive 3. So this is the point 0, 3. Okay? So then all I need is my slope. Slope means subtract the y's on top, subtract the x's on bottom. So I have a slope of negative 3 over negative 2, or 3/2. Now to write an equation in slope-intercept form, I need the slope and the intercept. They gave me that. So I could go directly now to the equation y equals 3/2 x plus 3. If I didn't remember that, I could still use point-slope form. I'll show you that you get the same equation. So I'm going to use this point, so it would be y minus 0 equals 3/2 times x minus a minus 2, so x plus 2. Y minus 0 is just y, and if I distribute, I get 3/2 x plus 3/2 times 2, which is 3. As you can see, you get the same equation either way. Next, we're going to graph equations that are in point-slope form. Remember, point-slope form gives me a point and a slope. So if I look at letter A here, I have a slope of 1/2, and I have a point of -1, 4. That can be kind of tricky because remember it was x minus something to put it into the parentheses. So when I pull it back out, I have to remember to change the sign. So my x value is actually -1 and my y value is actually 4. Okay? So how do we graph that line? Well, we start at the point. The point that this line goes through is -1, 4. And it has a slope of 1/2. So from that point, remember slope is rise over run, from that point I should go up 1 and over 2. And then again I'm going to do that a second time just to make sure that I stay on the line. I'm going to sketch, you're going to use a ruler. Ooh, kind of missed some of those. There's my sketch of that line. Okay, and letter B I will do in red. I should first write down my slope and my point. So my slope in this equation is -3, and I'm going to put that over 1, so I have rise over run. My point is 2, -3. Here's my x, change the sign. Here's my y, change the sign. So this is a line that goes through the point 2, -3, and from that point we'll go down 3 and over 1. Down 3 and over 1. Let's see how I can do on this sketch. Yeah, not too bad on that one. Okay, and the last thing you're going to do here today, it says the following points are on a line. Find the intercepts. So this is a line that goes through the point 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh no. Hang on, let me move this. I'll move it down here. There we go. Okay, try it again. Goes through the point 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And it goes through the point 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, if I graph these 2 points and look at this line, does this line have 2 intercepts? No, it doesn't, because it doesn't cross the x-axis at all. So for this line, I would write down that there is no x-intercept, and that the y-intercept is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 at 0, 9. So if you graph those points, you should be able to find the intercepts. A little bit of a review there because we found the intercepts a few sections ago. So make sure that you remember what intercepts mean. All right. Ms. Hiddle has your assignment for today. You may just hang on to your assignment from yesterday and bring both assignments in with any questions on Monday. Have a good weekend. Bye-bye.